Yoshi and the Mysterious Book surprised me. I was expecting a decent, relaxing game, but I ended up playing an amazing 2D platformer that switches things up, where instead of the usual obtaining collectibles or reaching the goal, you instead explore a decently sized 2D level to discover the many interactions the level's creature has. You also do not take damage or die from falling into pits, except on some levels. It may seem kinda boring, but the game always makes sure to have fun platforming and puzzles for you to do. There are many discoveries for each level, and thankfully, you use coins to get hints to help with 100%ing the game, so you don't wander around. However, a few discoveries will have you searching for the answer, simply because they're so specific. Aside from those, most discoveries you can do without searching them up, and it's satisfying figuring out how to do them. The game oddly reminds me of Mario 64 and Odyssey in a way where you just explore the level and are rewarding us for being curious, which is something I'm a huge fan of. The many creatures you look into offer a variety of gameplay. Some have you saving them from other creatures, fulfilling their desires, eliminating pests, using them to traverse through the stage, and many more. A lot of the creatures have genius mechanics that have you doing some clever puzzle solving to find all discoveries about them. Later in the game, some of the creatures interact with one another, changing the way you play that level. This is an excellent method to help pad out the game, while keeping things fresh. The creatures you encounter can either be allies or enemies, which changes how you do discoveries. I will talk more about specific creatures, but I do not want to spoil such smart ideas and level design. However, I will mention that the game starts out basic, and you might not like it at first, but after the first level, you start to appreciate and love what it does. Another thing I like a lot is the art style. It looks so distinct and pretty, and I'm glad Goofy always goes for different styles. There are some random FPS drops, and a bug that forces me to reset the game. Otherwise, I have no issues with the game's performance. The game has a ton of levels set in interesting areas, with a decent amount of boss game content to test your knowledge of them, along with discovering new creatures. There are also bosses you fight in this game, but they are super easy. Luckily, they are still fun to go against, thanks to the creatures you fight them with. At some point in the game, you can unlock exploration tools, but most of these are pretty useless and don't really help with discoveries. The music for this game is pretty good, with a lot of brand new songs and old remixes you hear in certain levels. Here are some of my favorites. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book took me 40 hours to 100%, and the rewards for doing it are extra lore and smaller goodies. For all of these reasons, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book gets a 9 out of 10, and it's a game I recommend to get for the Switch too, alongside Donkey Kong Bonanza, because both games help move the platforming genre forward and provide a decent amount of content. There is also a demo you can try that transfers your save file if you want to try the game for yourself. With that said, I highly recommend to go into this game blind, so here's your spoiler warning, as from this point on, I will cover the creatures more in depth. There are many creatures in the game I found fun to explore more about, but here are my top 5. Number 5. Hunger. This creature destroys everything in its path as well as allowing you to explore underground. Personally, it's just a lot of fun to use this creature because it goes fast and high. Number 4. Mosstalk. A very smart take on the hammer, with it being an insect eater that slowly gets bigger and stronger as it eats insects, where it can eventually start taking out big rocks. The level based on it encourages a ton of exploration to max out the Mosstalk. Number 3. Grab Grass. An excellent way to mix platforming and stealth, where you have to avoid getting grabbed by the creature by either outmaneuvering it, hiding in clever spots, or throwing objects at it to distract it. One of the creature's discoveries is that there is a limit to how far they can go, which is interesting because you have to last a while without getting grabbed. Number 2. Sticky Wick. This spider allows Yoshi to swing from its web and gain momentum. You can also throw it to gain access to new areas, grab anything, or move a fruit fly or other objects. Number 1. Spin Cone. These creatures have you riding or hitting them to destroy objects or enemies. I love the sumo aesthetic for when you fight these foes. You also have to spin the creature at a high elevation for it to grind on these vines to find new secrets. There are a ton of creatures I debated putting on my top 5, with honorable mentions being UFO, Raven, Magnified Lunchfish, and Wiggleline. Getting everything in the game fills Mr. E with all of the information on the creatures, as well as giving background on how he was created, which is surprisingly interesting coming from a Yoshi game. Now that I'll talk more in depth about the game, I cannot describe how amazing Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is. I wasn't expecting it to be one of the best games for the Switch too. I highly recommend this game. Even if you look into the spoiler portion, trust me, it is a relaxing time filled with creative ideas and mechanics that will impress you with how fresh and clever they are. That concludes everything I wanted to say about this game. Thank you for watching.